How did you get into this understanding dreams? I mean, because you have become so expert at it. What was the nucleus of it to start?
Okay, well, I'll tell you. 20 years ago, I was teaching classes on hearing the voice of God, and I began to notice that people were less comfortable saying, I had a word from the Lord, or I have a prophecy for you, than they were, I had a dream last night. Let me tell you what I think it means, or what do you think it means? And so I began to just begin teaching, and exploring scripture on what dreams say. That's really where it started. And then I changed the name of the classes to Seeing the Voice of God. So what happened to me personally during that time, and this was about 15 years ago, I was still teaching the hearing classes. I went through this hearing drought, as I call it. I was spiritually deaf. My husband had just walked away from a lucrative music industry job, and we had 5 children at the time. And had a 6th one in the interim. And so it was a really time, we had to hear the Lord on our next step. And I wasn't hearing anything. And then one night, I finally heard this small phrase, and it was 5 days. I thought, what does 5 days have to do with anything? And the Lord downloaded it into me all at once, and I do mean all at once. You're going to get away with me for 5 days, and you're going to read the Bible in 5 days. And I'm going to let you ask me that question. Is God ever silent? Because I was mourning, I was hearing and seeing these books on Christian bookstore shelves that when God is silent. And I couldn't bring myself to the point where I, thought my God was silent, like he had a mute button. I just did not think he would do that. So the Lord provided a way at my father's prayer cabin, and I went, and in 5 days with a very strict reading schedule, it was just, 12 to 15 hours a day, I read the entire Bible. I didn't stop to chew on the Greek or Hebrew or anything like that. Just asked that one question. And Sid, I did not find one place in Scripture where it says that God is silent. I found scriptures like, if I regard iniquity in my heart, you will not hear me. But coming to that conclusion, I thought, okay, then it's not God's mouth, it's my ears. And that's where Job 33 came into play for me. God began to bypass my ears and pour out visions and dreams. And Job 33 says, God speaks in one way and in another, yet man does not perceive it. In a dream, in a vision of the night, when deep sleep falls upon men, while slumbering in their beds, then he opens the ears of men. So the visions and the dreams started coming. And during this time, we changed the name of the classes to Seeing the Voice of God, and voila, suddenly my ears were opened again.
I love that. There is hearing the voice of God, but you're going to start not just hearing, you're going to start seeing the voice of God.